Hi there, this is Kathy Crow. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your being here with me to do a little stamping. It is going to be a muggy day today, but it's actually pretty nice. I'm enjoying it. It's warmer. I'm so glad. It's been cold, so it's nice to have it warmer. And I did not have to put the air conditioning on, although I kind of thought about it last night. It was a little warm. I love it. It's wonderful. It's cloudy. It's supposed to rain. That means I won't have to go out and water my new little plants I planted. Check out my garden page if you want to see what I'm doing. I've been busy working in the backyard, getting the last landscaping set up and ready to go. And then I can take, years and years to just add a plant, a bush, no perennials, bush here and there. And I am sticking to that. Man, we actually ended up, I think we might have lost 3 roses to that cold winter last year. It wasn't the first 2 or 3 freezes. It was that last really blasted freeze that did off our Mr. Lincoln. I think Mr. Lincoln might be. I already have another Mr. Lincoln in the ground because he's one that I cannot live without. All right, Delicate Forest. Is that what we're doing today? Yes, it is. Delicate Forest is what we're doing today. And I like this set. This is coming back in the new catalog. I am so glad. I'm also using the little rocking chair from this Lazy Days. Now, this little porch set is so fun and cute. I don't think I've ever done a Facebook Live with this one because you do want to make a lot of really cool background things in the porch so that when you're looking at the rocking chair, you can see some things behind it. And so you sort of have to have other stamps to do that with. I don't know that I did that one. I might have. I don't remember. I've had so much fun with that one. And then Grassy Grove is also another set that's coming back in the new catalog. I was so glad to see it coming back because I love this one. The deer is nice, but it can be a little problematic in stamping. So we'll talk about that. Today I might use some of my Seize the Day. I might use those deer instead. This is a retired set from a long time ago, but it's one that I really like because it says, "Of life's innumerable miracles, you are the most precious." Isn't that cute? And you did it. That's always a good one. And hopefully whatever you did, it was a good thing. It must have been. It must have been. Here's In the Grove. Now this is a new set. You can't see it yet because it's not out. But I have it. It has some really nice dies. And when I saw that it had this nice mountain range, we have our old mountains that were mountain air, and I like those a lot. And I think these are going to complement those mountains really nicely. I don't know. I've never used this set. In fact, let me peek and see if oh good, I did at least prepare them to be used. So they are ready to be used. It has this cute little fox. I like foxes. We have them here, but I haven't really seen too many of them, but we do actually have them around. Have I seen any? I have to think now. I think I did. I think when Jeff and I were out in a forest somewhere around here, I think we might have, not in the forest like we saw it. It would have been like on the road and we saw it like way off in the distance, I mean, one of those things. That's why I'm not really even sure if I saw one. I think I did. All right. I am feeling a little chaotic today because I said in my newsletter that I was going to show you 2 cards. I think I gave away one of them. This is the only one I can find. And so I can copy this one. I believe the little birds that I've used are from that porch set, this Lazy Days set. There are the little birds. So that's where I got those from. And the rocking chair's already cut out for me. I just want you to see how great all 3 of these sets then are going to be in the new catalog, and they actually coordinate really nicely together. Oh, there's the other one. I'm trying to get them all so you can see their titles. They are similar in ways. I haven't done the new one yet, so I'm not sure exactly how it's different, but we're going to find that out today. And what else is new? Oh, April Fools. Oh my goodness, I'll have to tell you what Jeff did. I'll tell you later what he did. Oh man, he is so fun. So he's already gotten me really good with April Fools today. But this is no April Fools joke. We really are going to get some stamping done. And I'm going to get my camera down, get the lights fixed up. We're going to see what we can see, and it's going to take me a minute because I do not have my camera. I don't have the view on my computer right now, so I can't see. So let me come over here while I'm going to have to refresh, and then I'm also going to have to play around with the camera again. And as usual, at least there's no storm right now, because if there was a storm right now, who knows what my internet might be doing. It's always a little bit problematic when, in fact, I can see right now it froze there for a minute. Not a great start. All right, so let's instead of doing that, I need my camera to actually be like here. Okay, and then we'll try to move my board over so you can see everything. Now here are my QR codes. There's my website. I'm so sorry I'm not really keeping my website up like I should be, but I just do not have the time to. I'm trying to keep you guys up to breast, though, with what the news is, because Stampin' Up! Is going to have a big sale, you know. It's going to have a big sale April 2, and things are going to be on sale 60% and less. I mean, it goes from 10% off to 60% off, but there's going to be a lot of things at 50% off, which is a lot. It's a lot. So you do not want to miss that sale. But every time I put out sale news for people, I really want to make sure you are aware that all of the items in the new catalog, I mean in the old catalog that are retiring, you know what? I'm sorry, very sorry to tell you this, but a lot of those, especially the inks and the papers that are retiring, our in colors that are retiring, those are not going to be around. You know, by the time that sale comes, they're going to be gone. Because those of us who like to keep our old colors handy, we will be, you know, buying all that stuff. And so you can wait for the sale, but there's no guarantee that once you have waited for the sale, those items will actually be available. So just for you to know. So scan my QR code if you want to. If you come in really close, just stop my, pause this video. You might not be able to do it while it's going live, but certainly when I'm on YouTube and later, you can just pause it, go in big on this and get that with your phone. This is my store at Stampin' Up! If you spend $50 or more with me, you will get a free new catalog. I will send that to you. But you will have to check out, with all of your information so I know where to send that. And that is $50 in product. So your order has to end up being anywhere between $60 and $75 for me to be able to, for it to pay me enough to be able to do shipping. I'm even eating the cost of the catalog on that. Shipping is so expensive now that I can't ship a catalog to you under like $7 or $8. So that's just kind of the way life is right now. My Square store, you can also get, gift cards at my Square store for any amount. And then in doing so, when you purchase my gift card for any amount that you want, this is how you get gifts for other people through me. You can do that, and then I will check with you through your email. I will contact you to see what Stampin' Up! Products you want for the gift card cost. And that's all of the cost. I'm not saving any of it for processing or anything. So anything you spend in my Square store for a gift card is going to go to any Stampin' Up! Product that's currently available. You could also use it for card classes and things like that if you want to. And then here is my newsletter, and I had to tape it on again so hopefully it might not scan all that well. Hopefully it does. But my newsletter comes out every week, and in it I usually have at least 1 or 2 tutorials. In this week's I didn't do any because I just did not have the time. And also this is a item that it would have been really difficult for me to describe exactly what I'm doing, and complicated enough that in the writing you just don't even know what I'm doing. doing. So this is Lost Lagoon. This is a color that's coming back, of course. This is Pool Party. And we're going to start with a piece of Pool Party and see how we can get going on that. Now, I don't even really need my cutting board, but I might as well start with it. We're going to do a card base that's going to be this background picture, and I'm going to just make that the mat as well. So we're going to go ahead and do this at 5.5. It's a little small for 5.5. I'm erring a little on the skinny side of it, and 4.25. It's already cut at that for me. And then we will do another mat on it after it's finished. But I want to work on this one. First of all, now you're going to have glare on my board, but that's the way it is. I've decided I've learned to just live with it. And because I really do like using a glass mat. When you're sponging, you've got to use a glass mat. There's just nothing else you can do about that. So we've got a Pool Party cardstock. So we're going to pull out our Pool Party ink pad. And the first thing we're going to do is put a little bit of sky in there. Okay. Now, what did I use for my... I think I used water. I used something waterish here. I bet you I got out my High Tide and used High Tide to build up a watery base. But in this one, I think I am going to use my Seize the Day instead. Those are all, oh no, I see what I did. I actually used my Delicate Forest. So you have Delicate Forest has this, can be water, can be grass, can be sand, can be anything stamp. It's just a background one. And I turned it upside down so I could make it look like water. And that's what I did here. Let's go ahead and just do it so you can see. I didn't do anything fancy or special with it. Oh, I have little label dies in here. I can put those with my other little labels. I didn't even realize this set had labels. This is the main frame. And then you have these little delicate edge things that have leaf backgrounds that go on it. And then that is our base. So we'll play with those here in a minute. Let me just stick them aside for now and grab out this little lake type, grass type thing. Oh man, I can see I'm going to struggle with vocabulary today. Oh well, it's not the first day that's happened today. So Jeff normally we work out at different times. He works out a whole half an hour longer than I do. So he goes first and does his thing. And then I go halfway about. It takes me that long just to crawl out of bed and get my teeth brushed and take my medicine and get going. So, and I usually check my email and do some laundry. You know, I mean, I've always got dishes, laundry, something, you know. So let's do Pool Party and let's check out where my card piece is. So I actually want to have plenty of room for my sentiment, and I barely gave myself room. So today I'm going to start a little lower than this point with this stamp. We're going to go a little lower just so that I can make sure that I've got room. So here's my Pool Party. We're going to just put that right there. I got to turn it over and do it again since I totally flubbed that by rocking it. You're not supposed to rock your block. Okay, so don't rock your block. Let's try it again. All right, there we go. Now that is better. And then because I kind of want it to look like it's fading in and out a bit, we're going to do it again, like here. And I want to get that stamped off version stretched out a bit here. So now you can see where you've got your lighter colors there. I don't need much because it's already Pool Party, so it's already kind of a watery color. Anyway, so Jeff went and did his workout. I did mine. Saw him as I was leaving the place. He was already in his car just pulling away. and he waved goodbye. And let's see, the next color we want to do is Misty Moonlight, so that we have some actual blue in here, because I do want it to look like a lake. We could do boho blue. Let's try boho because I happen to see it on top, and I'm kind of curious to see. Let's see how this looks. So we'll do boho. We're going to come right into the pool party with that. That's pretty good. Let's get it up here a bit and up here a bit, like that. Okay. That's pretty good. Now I'm going to turn it over and keep going down a little bit with this boho blue. And now I don't really care how it looks, because most of this is going to be covered. It can be a little more random. I just need it to come down pretty far just so that I don't have to try to ink it later. If you're using a stamp like this, you know, it's very forgiving. All right, sweet. Oh, look at what I did. I'm really having an issue here with this today. Really having a major issue. There's really nothing I can do. Once you've rocked it and you've totally messed it up like I just did, that piece is shot. And so I've got a solution for this. This happens to me fairly often just because I'm too lazy to get the right block out. But today we're going to talk about this for a minute and talk about the size of your stamp versus the size of your block. This stamp is skinny and long, and so it's just really hard to not have this happen when you're doing one. I need another piece of pool party. And there are DSPs you can use, of course, that are already done for you to a great degree with the look I'm doing. So you can always just start with something like that. But I really want to show you how to make any background a really nice background. So I'm going to peel off some of that. I'm going to keep my little scrap and throw that away. Let's cut another piece of pool party at our 5.5, or no, 4 1/4. It's already 5.5. All right, so now we have another piece. We have two in case I flub up again. And then this time, instead of getting that block that I had out already, now there are some blocks that are leaving, and I don't really even know which ones they are because I have them all. There's this long skinny one. I hope it's not disappearing because I think this is the perfect one for this stamp. Yep, it is. It fits on here. It's a little on the long side, but it's perfect. It's the perfect width. And so I'm not going to have, I don't really care if I don't get all of the edge on it. Now there's this one, but it's bigger. It's going to be a little bit bigger. I don't think I have another one that's in between that. Let me look real quick. No, I don't. So I think that's it. So we have a few blocks that probably people weren't buying, like this one, I suspect. And maybe not this one. I hope it's not this one. This one I used a lot. But it is nice to be able to match up your stamp with your block. All right, let's try this again. So Jeff was home. I worked out. I came home. And I was just heading back to his room when I saw him coming out really tired looking. Like his face looked... He was really red, like he gets when he's been working out anyway, you know? But he was like, oh, I fell off of the exercise machine, and the people were really concerned about me. And what day is it? He said. I thought, oh, you've got to be kidding me. What did he do to himself? He so fooled me. And then he said, April Fools, not long after. Thankfully, he didn't make me suffer very long. He said he could see from my face that I was really falling for it. Okay, so now I'm just doing that boho blue again. And you can see I'm not having any of this rocking issue. I can just kind of flop it on here any old way I want to. I don't really have to be too concerned about tipping it because there's nothing there to get ink on. So I'm just saying it really helps to make the size of your block as close to the size of your stamp as you possibly can. Okay, so now we've got our nice watery center. Okay, and if you want any more, again, do stamp off to get any more up and above the main area you started with. All right. It's a good thing I'm not an angry person. He really had me on that one. I thought, oh no, it's April Fool's. He always gets, there he is. He always gets me. He's just coming back. When I went to Fred Meyer, or no, not Fred Meyer. When I went to Walmart this morning to get some groceries, they didn't have any flavored water hardly. It was all gone. He had to go to... All right. I'll shut my door so I can talk about him hearing me. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put my little trees in there, and they, as you can see, we've got big trees. We've got big trees and big bushes, and I really didn't want big trees and big bushes. So that's where my little Grassy Grove came in, because you've got all these little trees. You've got this trees, you've got these trees. And now also in the Grove, this new set, I think I'm also going to do these little trees, those little fir trees. I do miss little fir and pine and spruce trees. We don't have as many of them here. They are here. There's just not, they're not in the numbers, so you don't smell that wonderful pine smell because you just don't have the numbers of them. So here are our stamps. Let's test this one on my scrap before I get going on it and see how it looks. Okay, so let's try our shaded spruce for our trees. Oh, my shaded spruce looks pretty dry. Okay, here we go. Let's do it a couple of times here and see what we get. Oh, I like. Ah, very nice. This is going to be nice. They're a little on the big side. I kind of want it to look like it's far away, but we're going to go ahead and live with it. But we're going to do a stamped off version here. So we're going to go like right there. And I might do a darker one here. And I think that's going to be it. Okay, I don't really need maybe this here just to get a little bit on the edge there. All right, so now we're all good. Clean off my mess. I like those. Those are nice. I do have a lot of trees because I always buy the background stamp sets. Whenever they do backgrounds of any kind, I buy them. And I do that even though I might have other spruce trees that are very close, or pine trees or whatever I'm calling the tree. I might have them already, but I find that Stampin' Up! Always does them slightly different colors. Or not colors, I'm sorry, slightly different sizes. It's nice to have a variety of sizes. And they look different. If you are always doing the same tree, you know, everybody starts to notice it's the same tree, and even if it's the same size that you want and all, still, I'm just saying, it's nice to have a variety. And now we're going to do these little trees with Grassy Grove. Okay, Grassy Grove. I love having all these background stamps. So let's try to, again, fit the size stamp to the actual block size. And this time we're going to go with a darker color. I want it to be a different color, and I need these to look like they're farther back in. So we're going to do Evening Evergreen. I bet that's a color that's gone. If it isn't gone, it's going to be gone. when you have good colors, you want to make sure you get them and get the ink that goes with it, and then you can keep them for a very long time. So these aren't exactly the trees I used. Let's check it out and see whether I really want these. I do. I like these. These are nice. We're going to need to ink it up pretty good. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go here. Let's go like, we're going to go here. And one more, like right, well, maybe not in there. We'll let that be ground. We're going to do, I'm going to use this as a mask to just kind of mask my trees a little. I don't want them to get too messy here. Right there. And now I am going to use my, I'm not going to re-ink because I want it to be just a little bit soft in the back. So now we're going to do these little soft ones in the back. There. Now we have this little forest, soft forest in the back. I don't need to worry about the bottom of this card because this is going to be covered by our frame. That's nice. I like those. It almost looks like they're in the water, which we're going to fix that issue because I don't want them to look like they're in the water. They can't be in the water. That's no good. We're going to fix that issue. All right, so let's clean this mess off, and then we'll start on that and the little sky, but I gotta leave like a pretty good amount. This is where my sentiment has to be. And I really just want the sun to look like it's coming down because the sentiment says, hoping each passing day lets in a little more sunshine. This is a nice card for, if somebody is having a bad day or if they are sick. But a good one for people who are going through a struggle that's not going to get instantaneously better and great. Like this is going to take some time. We just are going to focus on the fact that each day is getting better. Because man, how many days are like that? Now one thing I want to mention about these backgrounds, this one, the reason I didn't want to use this one is because this is for a horizontal card. If I have the card positioned like this is a great frame for it. But I definitely wanted my card to be vertical. So obviously this frame wasn't going to work for that. Our delicate forest is positioned such that you can have it be vertical. Okay, now let's look at our new In the Grove set, and you can see we have got a vertical. I think today what we might do is, nope, can't put them together. I was thinking maybe I could put these together. You could, but you wouldn't want to use too many of the little branches. These are birch. I saw them in the card, and you can't really tell it until I cut them out. But you can make them any tree you want, but they look really nice as birch trees. So if you wanted some birch trees back there, that'd be great. All right, let's see now. What are we doing? We are doing that, fixing this ground. And I'm going to just, you can grab any stamp set that you have that has any kind of ground look to it. You could even use this watery one and make it look like the ground. I don't really want to use this because I don't want a whole bunch of tall grass looking stuff there. So we'll just use our delicate forest again and pull out that same stamp, and then let me show you how you can use it to just ink up the side of it, not the part where it's graduating down and out. We're going to just ink just this top bit. And let's see, you can also just get a different brown. Let's get our, what is this? Oh yeah, basic. Oh, here's a new color we've got. I haven't even tried this one. Let's try basic beige. We've got basic beige is coming, and I've never tried it. Let's give it a go. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's very greenish. I don't want it. On Pool Party, it looks greenish. It wouldn't on white, but on that it does. I need it to be brown. This definitely needs to be a brown. So let's find, I'm trying to find crumb cake. Ah, there you are. I don't want it to be too dark, but I don't want it to be at all in the green zone either. Okay. When we were first married, I tried, do you guys do, so just ink up the top of your stamp, just the top part, and then you can come in here and make the ground where you want it. Okay, there, now we have some, what looks like ground, not just water. Let me get it. I'm gonna ink up this side just a bit, just to get a line going here. There we go. Now you can take a pen or pencil and do this same thing, but I'm lazy. So you can just do it with your block if you're careful. When you've got photopolymer stamps, your options are endless. You can do all kinds of wonderful things with it. Anyway, I don't even try to do April Fool's jokes. Quickly in my childhood, I learned I wasn't very good at it. I have a brother and sister who are a little older than me. They were way smarter than I was on that sort of thing. Oh, I used these little bushes for our trees there, didn't I? Let's try one. Because these little teeny tiny ones with my evening evergreen are gonna really stand out nicely right here. Let me find where I want them. I think we're gonna do them right there. Very good. So it just is something a bit more right in the middle there. And then also there's ground under it. So you can take your crumb cake and just, again, this is something you can't do with cling stamps. Cling rubber stamps don't let you see through. And you can take a masking tape and just cover up the part you don't want to ink. But with photopolymer, it's pretty sweet because you can just ink the area on the stamp. You can see right there where you want it. Just ink that right up there. And now I have ground, little bits of ground right where I want it. Okay? Very nice. Now we're all set. Some of you guys are really good at doing April Fool's tricks, I'm sure, but my kids were better at it than me. So I learned pretty quick, don't even mess with them either, because they're gonna do April Fool's back at you, and they're gonna be better at it, and they're gonna do something you don't like, and certainly don't want to punish for April Fools, but on the other hand, all right, little yellow, because in this set, Delicate Forest is where I got the sentiment, hoping each day, passing day, lets in a little more sunshine. And the other reason I bought this set personally was because it says sending our love. You know, Jeff and I, he is the one that also is sending a lot of these cards. Even though I'm the one making them and filling them out and mailing them, it's him too. So I'm really happy to see ones that have the word our in it. O-U-R, our, however you say it. Okay, so just take your lemon lolly. It's very bright. It's your brightest yellow. And then use your smaller blending brush We want a lot of yellow at the top here, because we want it to look like it's coming down from up above. Now that's looking kind of green on my pool party, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a darker one. We'll get both Mango Melody, which is retired, and Daffodil Delight. And let's start with Daffodil Delight and see. Let's see how it does. Oh, good. That's much more yellow. That is good. Okay. So now we have our yellow coming down. Hopefully not too strong. It's pretty strong because I started with that Lemon Lolly, which I should have just gone to the Daffodil, but oh well. Let's clean off that area. Dry it good. And we want that wording to stand out really strong. So let's get the sentiment and do it with Evening Evergreen is really a dark color. So that will do nicely. I think I'm going to have to use this one. Even though it's a little bit bigger, it's a little easier for me to use the sentiments. Okay, so we want to get as close here to the trees as we possibly can to make sure that our words are being seen around the leaves that we're going to stick all around there. And now we're going to just cut out these, and I'm using, why do I have these here? I'm using Lost Lagoon as the background. It's a good, you know, coordinating color for a pool party, I think. Let's get all of my stamps back in here. I kind of got them all over the place. Let's see, let's put that one there. And the sentiment there. And now we're going to take, we're going to want that. And then we're going to want this curve. And we're also going to want this curve. We don't need any of these leaves, and I wanted it to be right on the background, so I didn't end up using those labels at all. But these are nice little labels to have. Okay, now the other thing I do need is the rocking chair, and I already have a bunch of those cut. So I'm going to just grab that out here. I keep all my little extra bits in a bag in here. I've got some squirreled away from our old house. We got years ago this house called Pop On By. I don't know if I put this tutorial out yet. Pop On By had this cute little house. Oh, it goes really well with the little rocking chair here. Now the rocking chair die from the Lazy Day set, it is a different one than the rocker, but there is a die that cuts out the stamped one too. I'm sure I am not the only demonstrator who was... Why are you waving to me? I have to go. Jeff, could you get that door for me? Because she's waving at me. It's the mail lady, and I'm not sure what she's... Thank you. I do not know why she's waving at me, but thankfully Jeff is home so he can talk to the mail lady about whatever the issue is. And I'm also curious why and what is going on out there that the mail person has to talk to me about it. All right, let's cut this out. So we've got our little rocking chair, and we're going to cut the Lost Lagoon into pieces that I can work with. I hear her talking. This is nice that Jeff's getting a chance to chat with our mail lady. because it would be nice for them to know that our former owners that we keep getting mail from do not live here anymore, so that it stops coming. All right, so I'm going to just keep these two. We're going to work on these two, and then the other piece we're going to just set aside. Let me bring up my cutting machine. This is our cutting and embossing machine. And the plate I'm using is a magnetic one, but that is not one that comes with it. It comes with one that is not magnetic, but I find I really need the magnetic one. So first of all, we'll put our Lost Lagoon right there. Let's cut out this. I'm going to look and see if it cuts a bottom. It doesn't really, so I'm going to cuts the center out, but I'm not sure that it cuts out a bottom. So excuse me. Oh man, I don't know what the deal is. I didn't really see a package in her hand like I expected. And we're going to cut this and see how it looks, because I kind of forget how it even looks when we cut it out. Here she goes. Now, well, now he knows the mail's delivered. Every day Jeff says, have you seen the mail truck go by yet? Now look at this. This is so pretty. It comes out so easy. Isn't that gorgeous? These little leaves don't come all out, but they pop out just a little bit. So you get this little three-dimensional effect with these leaves without doing anything. Now some of them do pop out, so you have, you know, so you have all this nice space behind. So there's some. But some of them don't. You just want to pull them up a little bit. Oh, this is such a nice set. I really like this one. I was so glad to see it was coming back in next year's catalog. This framing makes doing backgrounds so much easier. So much easier. Okay, so see how, oh, gonna have to move it up because I've got my words kind of being hidden there. So we're gonna actually want it to be up a little higher, which is fine. I'll just make my card a tiny bit bigger maybe than I would have originally planned. Okay, so that's gonna go there. And then we're gonna have our rocker is gonna wanna sit in here. This is my rocker in the forest. Now, if you want to do some, not a rocker, you can. Remember, we've got our little deer from Seize the Day. And I could put them in there. They would look really nice in there, too, wouldn't they? What do you think? I actually really like the rocker. Just because if it's a rocking chair, it just gives you more of an idea that you're taking it easy, you're getting better. Whatever was troubling you is God's taking it away little bit by little, or he's helping you to bear it, one or the other. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the rocker, but I'm not going to worry about it yet. We'll stick that in at the end. Right now, I need some pieces to kind of make this a little bit better. I can cut off some of it, but I also just want my frame to be, I want some a little more leafy fill. So let's bring back that cutting machine, and I'm going to use these two to just cut some edges. And we're going to cut these edges, though, like this, here and here. And then I know I'll have a nice straight bottom, because it just cuts the top. It doesn't really cut the bottoms, actually. So you'll see what I mean here in a minute. Ooh, that was loud. Let me clean this off. That'll probably be helpful. It's all right. I'm fine. Jeff's always, are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just dropping stuff, making a big mess, but it's all fine. Always sounds louder than actual problem, you know, is it just sounds really loud. Okay, so we're going to go like here. I'm going to go pretty high so I can make this as short or not as I want. One there and one there. Then I have plenty to work with for the bottom. Again, this is all with the Delicate Forest stamp set. Now, if you buy the bundle right now, you're going to get the 10% off. Now, remember, all of the things that are retiring, those are going to be gone. Sometimes they just retire the bundle price. So see, this is how this comes out. Isn't that nice? So I've got one edge there, and now I've got this edge here to work with for the bottom of my card. And I only need those two. I don't really need anything more than that. So sometimes it'll say the bundle is retiring. That just means that you're not going to be able to get 10% off of it anymore. It might be coming back. Like Delicate Forest is not going anywhere. It definitely is coming back. But it will not be at 10% off. You'll only be able to buy it separate, the stamps and the dies separately, and you won't get that 10% bundle price. So now is a good time to buy it before it goes. And there's a bunch of things. I keep forgetting to mention it in my newsletter. There are a bunch of things that are going to be higher in price. Yes, Stampin' Up! Has to raise its costs too to cover everything. So we can make this as high or as low as we want. So first of all, I'm just going to get out my background, and I'm going to position it where I want that. And then we're going to see how much of this. Now that one, I can leave it right there. That's pretty good. This one, we're going to probably cut some of that off. Doesn't that look nice? Right there. All right, so it looks like to me, we are cutting off approximately 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little more, almost an inch off. Let's see. Let's get my cutting board and see how much we're going to cut off. Let's start by cutting off 1/2 of an inch. Well, actually, let's cut off not 1/2 of an inch. Let's do a little less than 1/2 of an inch. Better to err on the side of caution on that. Okay, that's going there. Build-a-scene cards are really easy. They are a little time consuming for people who don't want to take a lot of time to do it, but they're pretty satisfying to do and super easy. Maybe I want this one in front. Let's see. We'll put this one in the back. Put this one in the front. No, I want that one in the back. And this one's going to be in the front. That's pretty good, but I think we can take a little more off. There we go. That leaves us just the right amount. And now we can assemble. All right, now I've got a card base already prepared, and I think we're going to use this very vanilla one already done. So we're going to put this on here like this. I don't think I need any ribbon. So before you actually start doing anything, make sure you've got your ribbon where you want it. Now this is going to go here. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to take off some of the bottom of this, I suppose, although it'll be covered, so I don't really have to do that. The problem is that this does need to go up like, no, not up, it needs to go down. Yeah. Like that, there we go. That's what I need to do. I need to lower it. All right, so we do need to take off some of the bottom. just a little bit. How about, maybe a 1/2 inch. Let's take a little less than that. How about 3/8 of an inch? Like that. Okay, and now I'm going to see what to do here at the top, because I don't want any of this very vanilla showing through. So what I'm going to do is get another piece of my Lost Lagoon, and we're going to cut that and have that be our base here, like that, and then like that. Okay? You could use Pool Party, would also work. I think I might have used Pool Party before, but I actually think it's going to work better if you use Lost Lagoon. Whatever color you're working with for your frame is going to look better, I believe, for that. So I hope my Fairy Vanilla is not sized too big. It looked like it was just a little on the large side. I wonder if other people are doing like online April Fool's stuff today. This would not be a good day to do a sale. I think we've had Stampin' Up sales before at this time. Like, did they do a free shipping on April Fool's one year? It seems like it, because I remember sending out something and thinking people are going to think this is a joke because it's April Fool's Day. Okay, so if you have any extra hanger outers like I do, so my Very Vanilla is just hanging out here a little bit. Now's the time to trim everything up good before you fully assemble that card. Okay, and there's, you know, tiny bit on the side. I either didn't fold it exactly perfectly or something. All right, so there we go. That's good. And we do have foam strips that make this job, this next part, super easy. So let's position this in here and make sure I get this right. We're going to put this down, but I want to make sure it's going exactly where I want it. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, so we're going to put our glue on there. Put this guy down. Now, if you want clouds or anything, or little birds going up in the sky that you're stamping in it, that would be nice. Any of those kinds of stamp things are nice. Okay, before I press it, I'm going to check again, make sure this is where I want it. Maybe down just a little bit. Right there. Okay. All right. Now you can put your strips on. So your foam strips, again, like I said, make this so much easier. They're called foam adhesive strips. I do believe, I would not be at all surprised if all of this stuff is going up in cost. So it seems like all of this kind of little basic stuff is all going to be a little more expensive. We use these foam strips mostly for our shaker cards. At least that's what I use them for. Okay, but it's just, they're very handy here to do a nice frame. So what flowers are you planting? Are you a flower planter? I cannot get through a year without planting some kind of flowers. I bought some flower seeds, but I stuck out some sweet peas just to see, you know, if I could do it. I tried them, I think, last year too, and oh man, you know, I'm just not diligent enough to keep the ground moist enough. Those little guys, I'd soaked them good, so they should have just come up. But I think it was cold, and I don't know if they're coming up out there. Probably not. I'm going to have to break down and get a seed starting system going again, and I really don't want to do that. Starting your seeds indoors and growing them under the lights, it's very rewarding, very fun, but it's also very time consuming, and you have to water them all the time. I don't really want to do all of that. Every year it's like, well, I can just buy annuals, or I can buy the seed thing and get it going. I usually am particular about the plants I want. Now, one thing about this foam tape, it's pretty high, so you do see it under here. And which for most people is not a big deal. But if you're weird about seeing white here and you don't want to, you can take your marker and color the sides the same color as your cardstock. But it's so totally unnecessary, but you can. So we're going to take this one. Did I say this one's on top? I think so. This one's on the bottom. And this one's going on the top. It can go either way. Now this combination is really nice. Since it's high already, we are not going to do any more adhering with anything except for our glue. Okay, I don't want any more height. This is plenty as it is. Those Z-fold cards or Joy-fold cards that have flaps and gatefolds, this works really well with gatefolds and Joy-folds, anything that's got a flap. Because these little guys fit on really nicely that way. It's hard to not get some dimension by adding it there, but it actually looks pretty good even without that. So let's just not add the dimension, so that we could put this in the regular post office box with one stamp. You can do it. This is going to be thin enough. It can go with one stamp. Isn't that cute? So easy to do. Now these layers are going to be flopping around. It's true. If you're concerned about them getting bent at all, you can put a tiny bit of glue here and there and try to attach it. Just a tiny bit, though, not much. And then just stick it on. And that'll help keep it down. That one's going to have to float. All right, so now we're going to put our rocker in there, and I don't really need dimensionals on the rocker. You could put dimensionals on it. You could stick him down here too if you want to. It's totally up to you, wherever you want to put your rocker. I'm sticking it right in there, and I'm not going to put any dimensionals on it. I'm going to just glue it down. And it's inside, sort of protected, so I don't need to do too much glue on it. It's going to stay in there quite nicely. Right, like that. There we go. Isn't that cute? All right, so any background can be made behind these frames. They're super easy. Again, I took little birds from the Lazy Days set that the rocker came from and stamped them and cut them out and put them in there, but it's not at all necessary. It looks pretty good even just that way. There are these clouds in here you can do. Now, one thing about clouds I'm going to say really quick here. If you take your clouds, let's say you want to work on, there's another piece of, oh, here it is, a piece of pool party, and this is your sky. Let's say this is your sky, and you want to make some clouds in your sky. Okay, we're going to put them here and here, like this and this and this. Okay. I just did a card with this, and I'll probably end up showing this again at another time, but it's a really easy way to do some nice things with your clouds. Just figure out where you want them. Yeah, right there. How about there? And maybe one right there. Okay, so you've got your clouds. I only stamped one time. In fact, I should have stamped off so that we did not have a black outline on that one, but it's okay for my purposes in showing you what I'm doing. This is fine. Take your, there's two products you can use. Stampin' Up used to have this chalk marker. We don't carry it anymore, but Sharpie has a white paint stick. So I use that some. We do have the white craft pad, and I just use it because my chalk marker is pretty old now. It's been quite a long time since we carried this. And so I don't have, I've re-inked it with this a few times, but it's getting pretty worn. So you can just dab it into your, keep your white craft pad inked up really nicely. Don't get it in the ink as much as you can. So where my black Memento ink is, I'm trying not to get in there because it will kind of smear into my tip, and I don't want this to have anything but white on it. Okay, so then you can color around all of your little clouds. It takes a little while, but it will turn these nice and white, and then you'll have your nice blue sky behind. The painty pen, there's different brands that do this. I just happen to buy this Sharpie version. Let's see how this looks. Got to get it started. It works great, but it's a little too good. This one I only just use as kind of like outlines because it works, like I said, it works a little too good. I want to be able to see through it a little bit, and that's where the chalk markers come in a little bit better. If I use my Sharpie, I can kind of spread it around a little even because I want it to be a bit opaque. I want to see through it a little bit because otherwise those clouds, sometimes they look a little bit phony baloney. Let me see if it'll, yeah, see, it gets just a little bit on there. If it's a little dark though, your Tuxedo Memento, you want to cover it up a bit, you can, a little. It's not going to completely, but make sure you clean, you clean that off. You don't want any black ink on your white marker for sure. So you can use a cloth and kind of clean it a bit. Okay, so that is another thing. If you wanted to put any little clouds in there, that would have looked nice too. And I think that is it for today. We have covered a lot of things. So again, this set is, I think it's in the current catalog, but that is going to be retired and gone. But these are all going to be back. Delicate Forest, Grassy Grove, and then, oh yes, let's real quick, before I put this away, let's check out this little fox. I want to see how he stamps up. So let's do that. We're going to check out the little fox, and we're going to compare it with the deer, because if you have this set, you might have had a little trouble getting your deer to ink up exactly the way you wanted to. I don't know, maybe you didn't. I just know that I did. So oftentimes, whatever problem I have, I figure, probably. I'm not the only one. Usually I'm not the only one. All right, so it's not an outline type stamp. This one's not called, I don't see it saying that it is not a distinctive stamp, but I can tell by looking at it, it is not an outline stamp either. Let's start with a lighter color of brown, not a, you know, not early espresso or anything. Let's go with crumb cake. And let's see if I can find some white scraps here to use. Oops, not that. Okay. So here's our little deer. And then that's the second generation. That one's too light. I can hardly see any detail with him. So when I did it with a different color, I believe. But if you get just the right amount of ink on it, it actually stamps better. You don't want too much ink on it. But the second generation doesn't necessarily do it either. See? Okay, so not detailed enough. It's fine for a background and kind of off in the distance, so you don't need to see like super detail in the deer, but I like detail myself, and I'm not a great enough artist to be able to add it in. You could take a pen and add some of that in. Oops, let me grab one that's going to help here. Like any pen, like your marker, you could add in some detail to one of these darker images, but it starts to look a little bit fake when you do that. Unless you're better at it than I am. It's very hard to do that. Your pencils probably would work better in trying to add any detail. And I want to see if this little fox stamps up the same way. Let's just see. I'm really hoping he doesn't, because I do really like this little fox. He's cute. Let's do a color I'd be likely to use with a fox. We're going to grab Cajun, oh, not Cajun. Let's do Copper Clay. Copper Clay is one of our in colors. So Copper Clay is going to be good for one more year. We have one more year with it, and then it's going to be disappearing. So if you like Copper Clay, like I do, you're going to want to buy more of it. Oh, he's cute. His detail is showing up better for me. I don't know why, but it is. That is nice. He's very cute looking. It's the face. The deer face just isn't quite. That one is the better impression for his face. That one's pretty good. It's similar though. As you can see, it's similar. It's not super clear. So it just depends on what kind of stamping you do and what you like. If you want his expressions of his face to be really, really distinctive, then this is probably not the one you would want for that. But we do so many animals that over time, if you're a collector, the thing about this is it has the little footprints. That's what I'm excited about. I love it when there's the little footprints. So if you have your little footprints, now we can show that he's walking around. Right? Very cute. All right. Very, very cute. I like these. These are great complimentary sets, and I love it when Stampin' Up! Comes up with complimentary sets that I can use together, because it just makes stamping so much more fun when you can take these things and make a bunch of things out of them. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this mountain background. Let's see how it looks, okay? Because I can. I'm right here and might as well, because I know with this set, I am going to use it a bunch, but it's likely I won't be doing a lot of Facebook Lives with it, because some of these kinds of background ones end up getting linked in with other sets that I feature. Isn't that a great mountain? Oh, you are nice. What a great set. I love that. I like these mountains. The mountain air was nice, but I'm liking these mountains better, much better. So I'm so glad to have them. I have another mountain range, but it's not long. It's just small. And when you take a mountain range and take one little section and do it several times, you can tell. And so it's nice to have one big, broad mountain range. Very nice. Love that. This is going to be a really nice set. So in the Grove, Grassy Grove, and today's set that I featured, Delicate Forest, go ahead and put those all in your cart as soon as you can. You won't be able to order in the Grove until May 1. May 1 is when that comes out. Of course, if you want to, you can always join my team, and then you can order the pre-order on April 2. Hey, Fran, it's so nice to see you. Until I put the camera up, I didn't see you were on there. I heard you're having a windy day today. Hopefully it's a nicer day. We're going to have some really good storms, maybe a good thunderstorm tonight, so that'll be exciting. Jeff and I really enjoy them. You have a wonderful taught his April Fool's joke out on me early. So thankfully he got that out, and now I don't have to worry about him trying to do an April Fool's Day joke on me again today. Thankfully, if you had a whole lot of your family around, you'd probably be putting up with that a whole lot. That's probably one of the only nice thing I can think of about not being right by your family on April Fool's Day. All right, you have a wonderful week. Stay warm and safe and dry, and getting nicer though. Every day should be getting nicer. It's spring. Your spring flowers, hopefully you are enjoying those. Be ready for our new stamps that are coming up soon. And let me know if you need a catalog. I'll let you know how you can get one. If I haven't told you already, you can sign up for my newsletter. And other than that, I think we're all good. You have a great time. I will see you next week. Bye.